That just means that I have too few points. That not only is... Who is this? It must be some young player. That not only is my streamer rating low, also my score in the tournament is low. Okay, let's play the other Taimanov now. It's Queen C7.
If it's good enough for Magnus, it's good enough for the rest of us. So here, E6, and we get this key position. Now, this is a very important position. Black can play A6 or knight C6. So on A6 is called the Sicilian Kan. Magnus has faced bishop G3. And the answer to that is bishop C5. To remember that, you play bishop move against a bishop move. But now, as I can see on screen, white can play C4 to control the center. Then you will play knight F6 to attack E4. But like we've seen in the video, the best player in the world can play knight C6 in this position. So, did I say the best player in the world?
Performance so far in the tournament. Were you feeling some sort of extra determination to show who is best?
Yeah, I want to win the tournament, but I am the best. I mean, I don't have any doubt about that. But I mean, you gotta prove it when you play.
Generally pretty true. I mean, Magnus is the best chess player in the world. I mean, the problem is that when Magnus was #1 in Vicious World Champion, that was a very short period in time. And we kind of knew that Magnus would be world champion, but now Magnus is like 50 points ahead of the next highest rated player. So it's really, and he's not retiring like a lot of world champions did. So it is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. And I mean, I don't think we can just move on and pretend that everything is fine. I'll be honest. I don't think we can. I think Magnus is either going to have to play again or FIDE is going to have to change the format. That's the simple reality. I don't.
And so in this position, knight C6 can be played. And now we have a very important position to remember. And here, against G3, Magnus played A6. And again, bishop E3, he also played A6. So that's something that I want to explain. If in this position you forget to play, let's say after G3, you play knight F6, the problem is you have this move, the queen retreats, and you keep attacking the queen like that. And that's very good for white. So instead, on this move, very important to do A6 to control the B5 square. Now, let's see how to play the Sicilian with black. Okay, now we're gonna go by a move by move explanation of the variation using only Magnus Carlsen's game. So first, let's go into the A6, the Kan. And now let's see briefly against C4. As we say, we develop knight F6, which attacks E4. So white defended, and now we do D6. And that's a pretty interesting move because you're gonna get a hedgehog position. And this is very well known. The bishop goes to B7. Eventually, you prepare for D5 by moving your rooks. So that's how Carlsen handles the C4 move. But now, the main theory and the best move according to the computers is bishop G3. So now, as we said early, we play bishop C5. Why develop a bishop? And remember, you develop your bishop as well. White attacks the bishop, you retreat. And now in this position, Carlsen has played this variation a lot. And he has won using knight e7 or knight c6. Both moves are okay, but let me show you how he does with knight c6. Very interesting move. And here, Carlsen played b5. Excellent move, creating counterplay. a3 to prevent b4. And now Carlsen played e5 himself. That denies white trying to push. Now white exchanges the bishops and pushes on f5. But now Carlsen has knight d4. That's a great move. And let's say if white were to ignore, you play castle, you have a great knight. You're gonna play queen b6. You have a great position. So instead, white played. And here, if the knight were to retreat, rook e7 is an excellent move. And let's say after castle, castle, you are threatening the e4. You are threatening to take on f5. So if the queen moves, you play d5 and you have a dream position for black. So seeing this on this move, white did not retreat the knight, but play queen f2. And that is because you have an X-ray attacking the rook. But Magnus went for it anyway. And here captured on b2. And now play queen a5 check. And after that, he played castle. Yes, he gave up the exchange. But look, that king is in the middle. You're going to play rook e8, have a fantastic attack. And of course, he won against Duda, a very strong player, and won that game. So that was how we covered the move a6. But as I said earlier, knight c6 is also what he played in the first video. And now here, white has two moves, bishop e3 or g3. Bishop e3 is a very interesting move and probably the best for white. We play a6. Once again, we want to cover any b5 ideas. And here, the player with white plays g4. Magnus exchanges and starts his counterplay. Very important in the Kan or Taimanov. We're trying to push for b5, b4. And here, the best line is to play h6. Now, h4 can be played. We simply play rook c8. And after bishop g3, we enter a very nice endgame where we're not worried about the attack here, but we have our own plan to attack with black. So I prefer the black position in here. That was against bishop e3, a6. But now, as we've seen, g3 is a very important move, a6. Now Magnus takes on d4 and attacks the queen. And here, there are two different moves. White can retreat the queen or also attack our queen. Here, Magnus has played a game like that, and simply the idea to remember here, in this position, he does not castle. He played king e7, and now rook hg8. And the idea is like he's gonna end up with a knight against that bishop. We're gonna exchange the other pieces and win the endgame. So just to show you, we can stop the theory here, but this is the position that he reached later in the game. Beautiful knight. The rook comes here. This is a bad bishop over here. The queen is passive. These are targets. You get the idea. And the king on e7 is a fantastic piece. So remember over here, king e7, protecting d6, coordinating your rooks, and you're playing for the end game. Now, in the game which I've seen in the beginning of the video, Queen d3 is played. We follow exactly the same plan. So first, Carlsen likes to play e5. Here, Carlsen plays rook c8, activating his rook. And now, I'm pausing the video. What did Carlsen play here? And the answer is, of course, king e7, just like in the other game. Now, if white were to attack the bishop, you just play like that. And here, you have a great position for black. So instead, rook fd1 played. Carlsen protects d6. And here, white took. Once again, on a play like that, you play queen c5, you're going for the endgame. So here, exchange. And the king goes back to e5. And once again, we have an endgame where we're trying to play the knight against the bad bishop. It's a bad bishop because it's just passive controlling e4. So that's kind of how the game went. And eventually, this position was reached. Good knight against bad bishop. Here, e4 was played. Magnus gave a check. And let's see how the game ended. This was a blitz game during Title Tuesday.
Okay, let's take whatever. I have to play for a win. I could have probably given perpetual check, but... Ha ha! Wow, he fell for the only cheapo that I had. That's unbelievable.
And yes, Magnus was very happy to find this cure winning the queen on b6. But it's time to wrap up this video, and I hope you enjoy this Magnus Carlsen guide to the Sicilian with two moves, knight c6, the Taimanov Variation, or a6, the Sicilian Kan. And I'll see you in the next one.